however.
That's true, yeah. And what a memorable win it was. Good for him.
He actually, a professional win here in Korea. He didn't have some in China.
Yeah. Professional win in Champions. And TF will be the first ban, although I'm not really sure why.
Well, it is a red side ban here, so Faker could theoretically get a pretty decent matchup on that champion. They are going to ban the GP again. Will they ban the Victor and the Corki like they did last game? Rise taken out of the pool once again here by e-mFire. Obviously, we see Rise has been banned in 42 out of 47 games, and it is most necessary to ban against Faker. They will actually ban the Alistar in this one.
All right. And so it is leaving some pretty decent picks up. Poppy's still available. Lissandra's still available, even though she fell all the way through picks and bans in game number 1.
Yeah, Lulu, Corki, so Victor, these are all very powerful picks. I think Faker will probably try and get Victor in the first round of the draft on the red side for SKT.
Be a good idea.
There's the Zed ban. So, wow, they really don't want a Zed counter pick here. So they may just try and blind pick Lux.
Okay. Very true. Maybe Vel'Koz. Yeah, no, it's probably Lux.
It's probably Lux. Edge generally prefers to play some more of these control mages. And so the Zed ban, we did see it flashed in that first game. Faker has been playing a lot of Zed in solo queue.
Found out during the break that there are indeed some Ziggs buffs on the PvE.
Oh, no.
So, well, prepare for the end is what I'm saying. Lulu, the first pick for e-mFire.
And Poppy and Corki
All
are
right.
up.
All right, sure.
So they don't even need to take the Victor just because we had that Zed bandit and the Fiora ban threw things a little bit off this game.
Yeah.
And that is probably a mid lane Corki, if I had to guess, because that's usually where SKT likes to put it, and Faker has been very good on the mid lane Corki.
Yep. So 2 more picks over to e-mFire. And we'll see what they decide to grab. Do you think a Lissandra pick would be okay here? Send that Lulu mid?
Yeah,
Lissandra on top?
Yeah, I don't know if Hippo can play Lissandra, though. It doesn't seem like that would be really a Hippo-esque champion. They're going to try and play Nidalee again with Crush. Crush actually had a decent game last time on that Nidalee, and they want some more poke and disengage here. So if you're SKT, you actually start thinking about, oh, they could take the Victor away.
Okay. And they will. All right. So it's going to be, looks like Blank wasn't even expecting that. He's like, oh, he was playing Victor. All right. Oh, yeah. Graves Jungle. Bring it on.
That is an enormous amount of burst damage when you consider Phosphorus Bomb and a Corki Rocket combined with Graves and Victor burst. And Blank has played Kindred earlier this season in their first game against Jinair.
Cool. All right.
So this may be the reason why they like the Blank, having Blank in, just because he plays a very different style of champion pool than Bengi, who it would be quite surprising to see actually try and pull out a Kindred or a Graves or a Nidalee.
Yeah, final 2 picks over to e-mFire now. And we'll see who it ends up being.
And we are going to see the Kallisto.
Makes sense.
Go pretty deep, and that would be a top lane Trundle. This would be a really bizarre team composition from e-mFire.
I mean, I am not too surprised to see Hippo take Trundle if this is the way it would work out. I mean, he does tend to like the bigger tankier champions, it seems like. But.
Yeah, and Trundle has not been played top in Korea, but it has been played top extensively in China this season. And that's what it's going to be. It's going to be our first top lane Trundle, but that means that...
Bard for Wolf.
Wow, okay. So taking the Bard, they will have some more long-range disengage or engage there. And the scary thing about this composition is if Bard lands a 2 to 3 man ultimate, Graves and Victor are going to walk up and just annihilate anybody as they come out of stasis. It could be quite exciting to watch, actually.
Yeah. I mean, Bard lands at Tempered Fate and everyone just kind of gathers around and gets ready to just blow you up.
I mean, Graves Q, Victor ults, Death Ray, Corki Phosphorus Bomb. That is a nightmare of AoE to deal with. So if Wolf lands some good ults in this game, we could be seeing some fireworks.
They've got a lot of good pick potential too, I suppose. If Duke comes down and nails someone to a wall, it should be easy. that is about it. So we'll see if SK Telecom can play a little bit more cleanly this game. You know, e-mFire did kind of everything they could last game, but we're looking for a cleaner win from SK Telecom here in game number 2, but they may just mess around. It might be scrims again.
Well, SK Telecom definitely not going to be split pushing as much this game. They've lined up with a big team fighting composition. They're going to want to play as 5, and e-mFire trying to take the split push this time, get that Trundle really big, but they don't have a lot of reliability to gank for this Trundle. Certainly Nidalee is strong and can land a spear after a pillar, but other than that...
Well, it is game time, guys. Let's do it. All right, we are back for another game between e-mFire and SK Telecom here in Champion Spring. Game number 1 was sloppy, crazy, funny, entertaining, facepalm worthy. And so we'll see what game 2 brings us.
It was amusing. So,
it was.
We had a
fun.
few laughs. We got to talk about
We enjoyed ourselves.
junior high school.
It's true.
A good time was had by all, except for Coma.
Coma did not have a good time. Yeah. But that I feel like that enhances our good time if Coma doesn't have a good time.
That's right. We're all about the Coma Schadenfreude here.
It's true.
Except at Worlds, then we're not. We don't like it then.
Well, we just know it's inevitable that they'll win then. Yeah. Inevitable.
Okay, well, this game, we'll see how well they can do with Hippo. Now, Crush, to land a spear, if Hippo and Crush can coordinate properly around the pillar of ice, they may be able just to block off the path of Duke and try and pick up a kill or get a flash early. Otherwise, they may have some trouble actually ganking here. And the late game is looking really weird for e-mFire. The Nidalee doesn't really fit with the rest of this composition. Having a jungler that is tankier with more CC might be more viable, but if they can siphon some members off with a hook or with a pillar of ice, maybe they can use that Nidalee burst in Cougar form. But I just don't see Crush ever being able to go in the late game, because if he walks up, he is going to get obliterated by the burst from SK Telecom.
Yeah.
You just can't get close to Victor or Graves or Corky late.
Yeah, it will be interesting. I mean, I suppose, do you feel like if it comes to an actual team fight, because obviously they want to split push with this Trundle, but if it comes to an actual team fight, do you suppose you just try to have Hippo get as far into the enemy team as you can, and then wow, look at that, and then you just wild growth him?
Yeah, sure, but even then, a wild growth Trundle is very scary because he gets all that armor and magic resist from using his ultimate, but he has to find a target, and there's not a really big tank on SK Telecom for him to ult to get a lot of those stats from.
Closest it would come would be Poppy, getting a bit low.
And it depends on how Poppy itemizes in this game, so I mean, SKT has a significant amount of poke damage and they can kite very effectively, so there's not really a need for Poppy to get super tanky here. But even if Hippo does actually, get his ultimate off.
Oh wow, Faker
Edge
getting really low, but Edge is caught out by the gravity field. There's the exhaust. Blank could have come in and finished him off. I'm not quite sure why
Finisher is
didn't.
coming. He's now running through SKT's jungle.
Well, Edge is behind enemy lines there.
Wow, they just let him go, actually.
What? Well, I mean, Hippo was coming down, but Duke could have followed, and Blank waited for a long time before coming into mid lane, and if he had come in right away when the fight was happening, they could have finished Edge very easily.
Well, they actually couldn't have, because Duke was low and underneath this turret. Actually, Wolf has a flash right here.
Yeah, Soul going in for the kill, drops that Ren. Wolf gets to the heal, but it's not enough, and First Blood goes over to e-mFire.
Wow, they are actually smashing all their lanes right now. Edge didn't have to use Ignite. He forced Faker to use Exhaust in the mid lane. We've seen Duke getting beaten up by this Trundle in top, and now we have Wolf just going down to First Blood in a straight-up 2v2.
I guess so. Faker in trouble here, too. Tries to flash away, but an easy kill for Edge. Just gets him with the auto in the end, and uh-oh.
Wow, I don't know what to say about this. This is very surprising that we're seeing these big lane losses here. Now, Blank didn't pursue that, probably because Edge still had the Ignite and because Trundle was already motioning down through the Tri-Brush, and they didn't know where Crush was. So Blank didn't overcommit to that, and he's not going to do anything here as Crush is there just to protect Edge as he pushes the lane forward.
You gotta be careful or Koma's gonna knock himself unconscious with all the face palming he's doing already in this game, probably.
The self-KO.
That's right.
Whoop.
Just find Koma savagely beaten behind the booth, but it's self-inflicted. It's lots of big handprints. It's the news. SKT lost today, and Koma was found face palmed to death.
I mean, in spite of all of that, Bang actually has developed a CS lead, so it's not quite as bad as it could be. But Duke having some trouble farming here against this Trundle, and he's going to pick up what he can, but he has to go back, and he's not going to be very rich when he heads back into lane. And we see Hippo actually going for a Doran's Blade on top of his boot, so really trying to snowball this lane advantage. They already have 1,000 gold up here at
here comes
5
Wolf.
minutes, and here is Wolf.
Trying to catch Edge. He gets a slow, and that's going to allow Faker to catch him with the gravity lapse. And gravity field. There's a kill.
Gets the glitter lance.
Get him.
But Wolf there gets the slow. That was actually really well coordinated on the roam. He gets the slow from the Cosmic Binding, and the placement of the gravity field was enough, and the slow was enough to buy Faker time to get the stun off on the gravity field to finish off the kill.
Yeah. Gravity field.
Yes, indeed. That's what the ability is called.
Yep.
All right, so everybody back in a lane right now. Crush taking over, farming in mid. Faker going for another Doran's Ring, actually, for starting to build into the Frost Queen's claim. Edge also double Doran, so this is going to be a kind of weirdly lane-focused game.
e-mFire have found a little bit of an edge early on, but
Well, he found Edge in the mid lane too, there, Dal.
he's there every game, in fact. They go into every game with an edge. You know, the funny thing, stat-wise, looking at these two teams, is that SK Telecom actually has a worse gold at 15 score than e-mFire does as far as their relationship to the opponent goes. SK Telecom has like a negative 600 something at 15 minutes gold average, and e-mFire only has like negative 300 something.
Yeah, and we talked about that. It's a lot of the factor is that SK Telecom has been running compositions where they did fall behind early because they were scaling comps and tended to play in the late game, whether that was Gangplank or Blue Ezreal with like 4 tanks to PL for him. So it does make sense in that way, but it's still not a statistic that you ever really want to have.
Yeah. Especially with a team like e-mFire and having better numbers.
The season is young, though. I doubt that will be reflected when all is said and done.
Probably not. Probably not. You got to talk about something, right?
I guess you do. In the slow early game, well, it hasn't been too slow with those late kills coming through. 2-1. First 10 minutes is quite a lot of action here for Champions.
Duke has gotten a little bit more leverage in the top lane with that Bomby Cinder, able to catch up in CS a bit. Still down, though. Here comes Blank.
I've still been waiting for a Blank gank. He really hasn't ganked in his career.
It's true.
Here in Korea. Haven't seen that much coordination with him with the lanes or trying to set things up.
Oh, here we go. Hippo. Should be able to get back to his turret, yep. I don't know, not the tightest gank, but they wanted to do something while Blank was up there, I suppose.
I really disagree with them going in right there. Now, the vision wasn't there from e-mFire, and what that did was prompt the TP, and it prompted this too.
There's Crush. Way in the back lines. They're going to try to catch Wolf and Bang here. Wolf getting a bit low. Bang's just going to get out with the Valkyrie. And there's a magical journey through the turret.
It's a nice little trick.
Yeah, I guess
to
so.
Get away. Avoid any further follow-up damage. But that was a really bad TP from Hippo. They're going to have to transition this into a dragon. Otherwise, this entire endeavor is going to be for naught.
I don't think they're going to. I think they have to just kind of give it up.
Wow, so not coming back out.
Yeah, Bang's got his package.
Got his package there.
Yeah.
Wow, so no actual attempt at the dragon, and that allowed Duke to catch back up in terms of CS. Now they're going to have a big TP advantage. Crush got the blue buff because Blank showed topside on that gank, and then they tried to turn it into something more, but Bang had his flash and he had his Valkyrie up by the time that the Trundle arrived, so really not at all an opportunity for them to go for that, and SKT really read that play very well, and instead Hippo burns 2 summoners for nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah. Well, let's see what SKT can muster out of this. Still behind a little bit, but again, you know, I mean, it's typical SKT.
Faker is actually casually taking a very large CS lead now.
I thought that wouldn't kill too, which hurts, which helps rather.
It hurts?
It hurts. That's a combination of hurts and helps, I guess. I don't know.
Hurts Edge. Well, Edge got that.
It hurts the most. You know? I can't speak English today for some reason.
Can you speak any other languages today?
I can't speak any other languages today.
Well, it's disappointing. I thought we were going to get a multilingual cast from you, Noah.
Sorry, no. Not yet.
Silly EU LCS casters, able to do multilingual casts. We're just Americans, Noah.
That's right.
Chained to one language.
Well, that's why we went to Korea, though, so we could use it to cast the best league in the world.
It's also the best language, so.
That's right. Undoubtedly. Well, not a lot happening right now. I do feel like Blank could be better at sort of pulling the trigger on some of these ganks. No,
yeah.
No pun intended.
If they have a TP advantage, they're going to have one for the next several minutes. They could easily set up something on the map right now. It's not like Edge has teleport. And so, see if this is going to be the start of it. They are detecting this Gromp take right here. Crush in pretty far, but that'll just be them deterring it. And
oh, Bang got it. He was able to take the Gromp. I saw the little gold thing pop up above his head.
Nice. So he gets the Gromp in the end. Does suffer a little bit more turret damage, and trying to play some defensive vision here for SKT. But yeah, Blank could certainly be trying to coordinate something. They have a Bard. Up there's the ultimate. Up, got a floating golden head.
I guess so. Got the Sentinel.
Yeah, they definitely could be trying to set up something here with the Bard ult in conjunction with the TP, but it's not going to happen apparently.
I don't know. SKT's just decided that they're going to just wait and win in the late game, I guess. Try to.
Well, they don't have Bard ult now.
Going for the Dragon, but he has to take the Dark Passage out of there.
Yeah, they saw him with the Frost Queen's Claim, and that's the advantage. You just pop that right from the mid lane.
Yep.
Meta with less vision, generally speaking, considering the vision changes, having that Frost Queen Claim to just check on the Dragon with a champion like Italy that can pop over the wall and solo it pretty early in the game is a very nice feature to have if you're a mid laner.
I would say so. Duke's managed to pull a CS lead over Hippo a little bit too. It was rough going early on, but not anymore. Everything is just fine.
Well, the TP really helped out, and now SK Telecom playing passively, and they lose out on that advantage. Certainly, you can try and make a play with a Corki with Sheen, and of course Bard with the Ignite, and you have that Graves. No shortage of damage there. Instead, they play just very cautiously. I'm not going to find Crush here. Of course, Crush has some issues going in on Graves, because if you try and go in on Graves and he Qs and you're already pounced on top of him, you're going to hit the second hit of that end of the line.
That's a good point. More
than likely. So it can be tough, because getting next to Graves is exactly what Graves wants you to do.
I feel like SKT is playing so passively because like Koma threatened them or something. Like, you're walking home if that next game looks like this.
It'll be a long walk in the winter.
It would. Although it's not as cold today as it's been recently.
That's true. I got to miss most of the really cold stuff when I was in Japan.
It was so cold here for like a week or two.
It was,
like a weekend?
It was a weekend, yes.
It was very cold.
Conveniently left. Uh-oh.
Whoa, Edge going aggressive. I like it. There's the exhaust, though, and he's not going to win the duel.
Well,
whoops.
You could try and go aggressive, but,
but
there's an exhaust on this.
Fate's Call and Soul.
Gold.
Yeah.
Oops.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, that's that. Another one goes through. Meanwhile, the gank down in bot lane. Hippo trying to get away. Hippo actually gets the kill onto Blank. And Duke now in a bit of trouble.
You have to be really careful about that Trundle. He gets very tanky when he uses that ultimate, and tower diving him after 6 can turn out like that. Now Faker wins the duel thanks to his exhaust right there. Bang actually, so what happened was Wolf tried to use the Cosmic Binding and predict the direction Callista would jump, and he just picked the wrong one. He had like a 50-50 shot at that.
Yeah.
But e-mFire now.
To take this tier 2 turret.
Yeah, that's a really nice takeaway for them there. Faker not able to get the mid lane turret in response. And now e-mFire out to an early lead of over 2,000 gold, and they're going to have so much control over the Dragon too as a result of 2 towers going down on the bottom side early.
Yeah. We'll see how fast they want to try to take that Dragon.
Yeah, they should take it now. Victor is back. They have TP. They should at least start it.
They're thinking about it. Drop the ward. Yeah, they will. But SK Telecom, they're in a position to contest, although if Bang completes this recall, I guess they're just going to give it up.
Yeah, they have Callista though, so this should be pretty easy for them, and they are going to grab it. Yeah, mini wave's not good. Lots of wards for e-mFire, and many opportunities to deal with that engagement. Also, Tempered Fate was down, so no long-range engage buying time. So a good call there from e-mFire, and they're doing a good job so far of transitioning these wacky 1v1 or like solo kills into an advantage, but now Wolf, Faker, and Blank will be taking out the mid lane tower and equalizing this gold just a little bit, close that gap.
Yeah, still about 2K behind, about, well, maybe 1.5, and now they're going to try to dive Hippo up in top lane again. Duke slams him against the wall. Hippo right away, popping that ultimate, going to go after Duke, and Hippo, just a monster on this Trundle. This is not working.
Over to diving the Trundle now.
All right, maybe don't dive the Trundle. Wolf, Tempered Fate, but Hippo's all over him. That's going to be another one.
Wow.
A magical journey to the afterlife for Wolf.
This is basically like the worst possible situation. They just gave a top Trundle 3 kills. This Trundle, now e-mFire's composition is based around this Trundle. What they want to do is have Trundle ult while he has this Titanic Hydra and go into a fight with Wild Growth on and a billion health and armor and magic resist and just tear up SK Telecom because they're relatively squishy. And this is, feeding him is the worst thing they could do because you cannot stop, Poppy will not stop this Trundle split push in the late game.
Well, Poppy already can't
2
kill
boots of
him
swiftness.
2v1. Oh, yeah, don't need those. There we go. Spectral Cowl is a little bit better than 2 boots of swiftness on Trundle. Although really, because he runs with 2 legs and like 1 arm, he needs 3.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Where's his glove of swiftness?
Just another boot.
Just put a boot on his hand.
Okay, yeah.
Sounds less comfortable than a glove. All right, let's
Depends
watch
on the
fail gank number 2. And they don't get the stun there to start things off, and then Hippo does a good job keeping them under with that traffic cone, but a Trundle is scary. You can see how much he can do on that frozen domain and while he's in his ultimate. And follow-up fight right here. Wolf attempts to get away, but really easy auto attacks there. Hippo just smacks him with a bat.
Yep. Well, SKT, they must really want to play from behind this game. Because right now Hippo is bringing the long, trollish arm of the law down on him.
Yeah, since when do they let trolls be cops, man? What's up with that?
Well,
what's the police force
since the last
in
couple hundred years, probably. Hey man, when I was skateboarding, I met a few.
Troll cops?
Oh yeah.
Sounds like a really bad television show.
Troll cops. They're trolls. And also cops.
That's like 90s level cartoon right there.
I know, right? Did you see the, there's a little video on the internet of Vin Diesel promoting Street Sharks action figures on the internet this week?
What?
I feel like it was destined that our conversations about Fast and the Furious and Street Sharks would finally come together, and now they have. Yeah, it's out there, man. I'll show it to you later.
Good. I look forward to him making the streets and the sharkiest.
He is much more excited about Street Sharks action figures than I think any child ever was.
What the hell?
Gotta pay the bills, man. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, Blank gets hooked. Could be in a lot of trouble. Backs away. That quick draw.
Wow, they actually
Close
used
call.
the box right there. They were so afraid of, I'm not sure what, actually.
Wild growth crush as well.
Yeah, that was just a very odd use of the box in that choke point because it was very clear that they were trying to leave that area. Could have just been trying to play blank in there and missed. But
oh, Hippo claims the Krug.
He's going to be claiming a lot this game. Towers,
so.
Krugs. Duke has to be extremely careful. Oh, yeah, he can't fight Trundle.
He's trying. Like, Hippo just doesn't take damage. Oh, and the Riftsculler's had enough. He's decided to end it all. Goodbye, Riftsculler. I wish things could have ended differently.
Where does he go, anyway? Where does the Herald go?
I don't know. He goes to some other rift somewhere else, maybe?
Are there many rifts, or is there just one Summoner's Rift?
Well, right now there's just one. There used to be more, but, you know, when the seasons changed. But now, it's just impossible.
I mean, without Summoners in the game or in the lore at all, whose Rift is it, really?
It's ours. We've taken it back.
Should they rename it at this point?
It is the People's Rift.
Shouldn't it be called Champions Rift now? Just saying.
Yeah, I suppose.
And the Champions Cup?
What are they fighting for now? Our entertainment?
It's just pointless violence. It's basically just like Roman gladiators.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm okay with that. Sure, let's do it.
You pine for the days of Roman gladiators?
Yes, I miss when I used to, you know, go down to the Coliseum and grab some lamb on a stick and
get thrown bread.
That's right.
Get bread thrown at you.
Sit out in the sun and, you know, wear my toga.
Watch good old-fashioned blood sport.
That's right. Oh, and e-mFire going to take the mid lane turret too. Not really any opposition from SK Telecom, who is at this point kind of just letting it happen.
That's what's surprising. They don't really have the best siege composition. They had the Victor wave clear there, and here's going to be Dragon number 2, uncontested. They're trying to get a little bit of pushback going at the moment and take another turret. It is quite low in the top side after the horrendous series of dives that SK Telecom tried to enact, and now the rest of SKT are here. They're going to try and cut off Hippo. Hippo is way too far forward.
Operation Kill Hippo. And they're going to keep trying. He's on the run right now. Tempered Fate misses, and Operation Kill Hippo is a failure.
I have not been impressed by Wolf's Bard in this game so far.
No, he hasn't really hit a lot of Tempered Fates.
And he really has to hit those if they want to do anything with his composition. And now the rest of e-mFire are there. There's the Frost Queen's claim.
Yeah, going to slow down Duke a little bit. Cougar takes him down before being yanked to safety. Hippo in the back line, so he just popped his ult right now. They haven't found the greatest angle. Oh, Duke misses his Poppy ultimate. Soul gonna throw some spears into Wolf. They get the slow with the Rend, and Hippo's gonna help secure that one with the cone. Might as well be a cone of silence, because that's what they did to Wolf. Silence.
Might be a Kokao cone. Why can't we have Why can't we have Lotte Trundle?
Kokao cone. Trundle. I love it when you say Kokao cone at the start of every game. It makes me laugh.
Half our audience doesn't even know what that is.
Yeah, well, it's basically Bugles. And another part of our audience doesn't know that either. It's going to be Baron for e-mFire, and they're backing away. Duke trying to come in from the side. SK Telecom, can they come and take it? There's Blank. He's right there. He went in early. Baron still goes over to e-mFire, and they're going to escape, losing only Hippo, but they do get Trundle in return.
Uh-oh, Crush on the run.
That's right, Wolf comes through the wall. It's a magical journey. Crush turns onto the jungler. Bang taking the long way around. And Crush still taking a lot of damage. Minion wave there. Baron minions trying to save their jungler. Operation Kill Crush. Operation Crush Crush. Crush dodging, going after Bang. Nope, there we go. Finally Duke gets the kill. Crush has been crushed.
You got to take the hammer to get Crush, right?
I guess so.
Crush with the hammer. Well, actually, e-mFire, so they get the Baron, but they lose the most important person to have Baron on, which is going to be Hippo, because they would have really liked to have him in the split push situation with the Baron buff.
Well, it doesn't prevent them from taking the mid lane tier 2, though.
It does not. Now only one tier 2 left for SK Telecom. They're down 7,000 gold here. They're finally going to get their second turret of the game, courtysy of Duke and his Iceboard Gauntlet, but This has been a very poor showing from SKT.
It has. I mean, if they're waiting to win in a really epic comeback fashion, now's the time to do it, guys. Okay, you can stop messing around now. It's time to play some serious League of Legends.
This series has been pretty disappointing from SKT, but honestly, e-mFire, give them credit too. They've gotten a lot of just straight up kills in this game. Hippo, who has been rough around the edges to start this season, turned around 2 of these dives to pick up kills of his own, and Edge doing pretty well, pick up the first kill onto Faker, and we saw the 2v2 Soul and Gugu kill onto Wolf for first blood. And they've snowballed well. They got those leads, they turned them into turrets, and now they have that first Baron of the game very early on.
Oh, bang. Slow down with the cone, get a Valk out. Be okay. The Kokao cone.
It is, and here we go. The final tier 2 now in the sights of e-mFire.
Yep. 5-2 are the turrets right now. SK Telecom without a dragon either this game.
And that's kind of the main concern right now. With all these turrets that they've lost, e-mFire has a ridiculous amount of control over the remaining dragons in this game.
Okay, tempered fate.
They caught Crush.
It did catch Crush, and they do blow him up.
Yeah, he's popping the pop BW, so he can't pounce out right there.
Yep.
So they finally hit the Tempered Fate to get the pick that they need with that burst damage.
It was like barely hit, though. It still wasn't the greatest Tempered Fate.
No, it wasn't. They had been able to catch multiple people, especially since Trundle, while he had his TP up, he was down on the bottom side of the map taking blue buff. And that's a fight with a good Tempered Fate that SKT could really turn this game around with.
Well, Soul's not afraid of the Chaos Storm.
I don't know, that sounds pretty scary to me. I wouldn't want to be caught in the Chaos Storm.
It's not very chaotic, though. It's rather predictable. You know it's going to just chase you, right? So it's kind of like the predictable storm.
Yeah, it really isn't. It also, responds to all of your directions.
Yeah, and it responds immediately and exactly.
Wow. It's more like an order storm.
Reliable storm.
Ordered storm, definitely a much better name for that ability.
That's right. Manufactured storm. Certainly not a chaos storm, though.
45 seconds now till Dragon. And this is going to be the time to shine here for e-mFire as they try and stack up on that objective, which is probably still their best way to win this game. Certainly they have a substantial gold lead, but SKT has a much better team composition for team fighting.
Yeah, pretty much. And they're going to want to use it when this dragon comes up. If they just let them have this third dragon, I'm going to expect that this is all actually an elaborate plot to kill Coma via like a heart attack or brain aneurysm or something. They're just trying to tilt him off the face of the earth if they don't contest this dragon.
Tilt him into space.
That's right.
All right, well, here's the split push. They don't have an answer for this Trundle, so e-mFire can just sit here and poke if they want. They're going to catch Blank, actually, with a hook.
Yes, they are, and he's going to take a lot of damage. Meanwhile, Turret goes down in top lane. SKT, they need this dragon. They may lose the top turret. Whoa! Blank again. The dragon is taken by SKT.
Bard.
That's
Zero
right.
Wolf managed to get that one.
Well, Blank couldn't get close enough to smite that.
Yep.
Hippo getting onto the inhibitor already. He may just get this. In fact,
they did a good job of delaying it. And so SKT is going to trade an inhibitor for a dragon.
For their first dragon.
Okay.
Man. All right. This is not working very well. Tempered Fate catches 2 people. Can they actually make it work? Let's see. Poppy throwing up the W. They're going to go after Soul there. Soul still a bit low. Hippo coming down to try to save his AD carry. Now Duke the one caught. Has to flash away. Gugu going to bring it back in with a flay. Duke getting low, but he makes it back to the base in time.
Yeah, does actually stave that off. They finally find a good Tempered Fate, but Hippo is right there to turn it around and make sure that they can't actually capitalize on it. A lot of missed skill shots too from SKT. Bang. Couldn't find too many rockets into that choke point to start to burst them in a meaningful way. And now the inhibitor down and the super minions up. SK Telecom has a minute to figure out what they're going to do with this Baron. They can't just push out the top lane with the super minions and try and get control. They do have a lot more wards on the top side of the map right now. We'll see, it's still going to be a lot of face checking here from e-mFire, and Duke is put as part of the duty up top, but Hippo still has his TP, and he's going to be looking for another inhibitor. And again, there's nobody that can really stop him on the side of SK Telecom.
SKT forced to just sit back and defend for the moment. Baron up in 30 though. And another thing where they're going to need to fight for it.
Catching Bang out. That pillar forcing the Valkyrie. So Bang is going to be the one who attempts to just clear these waves quickly. Duke is not going to be doing a lot of damage to these super minions.
Here's the thing though. If SK Telecom tries to stop this Baron, then essentially they'll just be giving up another inhibitor in bot lane, won't they?
Exactly, and that's how e-mFire should play this.
Yeah.
Just get the control down, start clearing out the pink wards, and then just sit here and dance around while SKT tries to defend. They have to send somebody in the top side, but Hippo's going to just work his way through this turret eventually.
Yeah, hasn't done a lot of damage to it yet.
Well, he doesn't know where a lot of members of SKT are. They have to have better vision to play this properly, but you can see they're starting to set up a pretty good ring of wards around the red buff and trying to deny that, but they actually have to threaten a Baron here, otherwise this isn't going to work. And then they can just disengage if they force Duke's TP.
Yeah, I'm wondering why they're not going for it quite yet.
Here we go.
Yeah. Now it's time. Okay, so Baron.
No, what? Trundle's at blue buff. This is not how you do this.
And they have to, yeah, they have to back off.
They need Trundle to actually be on that turret, otherwise there's no point in starting the Baron.
SKT taking a lot of damage on their top Nexus turret, though.
Man, they had that. So basically, the super minions were.
Oh, Tempered Fate. There's a catch. Soul gets caught. Where's the follow-up? The box laid down. Teleport coming in. Hippo coming from the side. Faker caught out. Gets taken down by Callista. Duke coming from the side. He's going to knock Hippo out, but it's a little bit late as SK Telecom already on the run. Blank low. Got ignited. Duke lays up that W.
Nice
There's a
stun.
knock up. Yeah, good stun, but it's not going to win in the fight. Duke goes down as well. That's almost certainly going to be another inhibitor in the favor of e-mFire.
It might actually be the game, depending on what happens. Faker immediately goes down in that front line, and now they're going to take another inhibitor.
Yeah.
It's a three-man defense here from SKT, but they have super minions on the turrets.
This is the game. I don't think there's a lot SKT can do. Wolfrey takes some damage. He's going to just take a magical journey through the Nexus while it's still there. And e-mFire is going to win game 2. What is going on here?
Wow, they look ecstatic, and even though they did mess up that Baron bait, SK Telecom decided that they wanted to take that fight and committed to it with the teleport, and so they were able to win the ensuing battle, considering that Trundle got right into everything and Faker was out of position. So in that game, we now tied 1-1 here, and surprisingly, we will see a game 3 in this series.
Yes, we will. And I can't wait to see Coma come into the booth. We'll see what happens. Well, obviously, a lot of happiness on the e-mFire side. They're doing better than they thought they would.
I mean, top Trundle is really strong if you get into that split push, and if you fail dive early and start just spoon-feeding him all these kills, you cannot stop him with the composition that SK Telecom had, and they were never able to actually get in and get the kind of team fights that they wanted. The Bard ults really weren't there to set up the burst. And even though we saw a lot more damage to champions coming out of SKT that game, they just couldn't transition it into a win.
Faker looks really upset. You can tell when Faker's upset because he starts to like smooth his sideburns, re-pointy them. That's Faker's nervous tick. Whenever you see that,
that's actually true.
Yeah, it is. Whenever you see Faker do that, you can tell he's genuinely worried, and he was doing it a lot. And he should be worried because this is probably the worst performance we've seen from SK Telecom as a team since 2014.
Yeah, this is not their best day ever. Of course, they'll have those highs and lows, but they've really got to pull it together. And honestly, the laning phase, too, is very odd laning phase from the SK Telecom team.
I don't even know. I didn't think I'd get to use the Coma facepalm image on Twitter that soon, but I guess I will. All right, well, guys, come on.